going to be listening to some kind of YouTuber, just to better myself, have better attractive energy. But we're gonna start off with, we're definitely gonna wash the face. But we're gonna use, I showed this with the to you guys before on my get ready these, but I like using these as my face towels. Um, it's called the Clean Skin Club, and they look like this. Very nice quality. I kind of deviated away from like cloth face towels because these are just disposable. They're very good on bringing on trips and things like that. Um, so they're made from 100% bio-based viscose. No chemicals, no detergent, no worth texture, no harm to your skin barrier. It's not a wipe, it's a towel that puts your skin health first. So it has a smooth side and it has a texture side. And let me show this, what they have on the back of it. This is the front. Okay. I get them. I do the subscriptions for the things that I use a lot. And I get those off of Amazon from the actual site. Let me see. I'm gonna try to put y'all on here. Oh yeah, I can make you guys literally my height. All right, so I'm gonna actually take my nose ring out because I'm gonna do the little blackhead strip. So those take a while to dry. Um, so, and I literally got these on Shan a while ago, and they're really good because they get a lot of your blackheads out. But they look like this. Oops, I got two out. Only need one. I'm running out. Oh wait, there's one right here. Why is there one right here? This one gotta go to the trash. So this part goes on your nose. The only thing I don't like about this, so I wet it under the sink and then I put it on my nose. You guys are just gonna see once it's on my nose. Sorry, because it gets a little bit messy. And these are charcoal strips to remove your blackheads. So this is a makeup wipe. So I get this from Amazon, which I gotta get in a pack. I buy these in bulk too. And I have a subscription, so this is what it looks like. They're not that expensive. I'm not gonna sit here and say, are they the most healthiest? Because I honestly, I should have researched it, but I just like it. It doesn't harm my skin. So um I don't run through these fast, so sometimes I have to skip my subscription because I still have bulk. Um, so we're gonna wait a little bit for that to happen. um, to dry, for this to dry. But, oh God, my eye, why's my eye doing that? Okay, we're gonna actually use this cleansing foam. This is the same brand that I use for my toner. And I don't even know what this little serum is, but it's Korean skincare. Um, and I've had this since last year. It's really good. Like, look, I don't know if you guys can see. Like, I still have quite a bit. The thing that I'm running out of, and again, I had this since last year, is this. I'm gonna have to get some more of this. It's really good. Um, but yeah, so this, we're gonna use this. Lately, I like how this makes my skin feels, but I'm not gonna use it for this one. I'm gonna use this. I'm going to use the toner. That will be the next. Whatever this little serum is, because it locks it in. We're going to use, this is Korean skincare as well. This intensive cream. And then we're gonna finish it off with my first spray serum. It's to hydrate and give you radiant skin, and it's enriched with white truffles from Italy. Really good. I need to buy this again. So that's what I'm gonna put on my face. And then I am going to do my eyelashes because I've been wanting to do my eyelashes. Money responds to you because you move with certainty and clarity. You expect abundance and accept nothing less. Abundance finds you wherever you go. I'm running kind of low on eyelashes. I'm gonna have to buy these soon. I'll buy them next month because I still have. And then I have some at my mom's house too. So when I need to buy, when I normally buy my eyelashes, I normally try to buy minimum 8, but max 10. These are like, they're between $5 and $8 a pack. And this is called L. The ones I used to wear for a while, they were Jocelyn, same brand. This brand is called bombextensions.com. And I try to look at the eyelash because sometimes they try to get them to be identical, but you know, they're never perfect. And sometimes you could brush them to, okay, this is the one I want. You could brush them so they're like even, like sometimes I could tell like once I put mascara on it, it's gonna clunk up and then it's not gonna give what the shape of the eyelash is. And that becomes a problem with me because then I'll have one eyelash that gives you the shape of what I purchased. And then one is like very clunky, like it looks weird, even though they're the same shape. But once you put on the mascara, it does not do what it needs to be done. And then I'm just walking around. Okay, I only have 6 left. Okay. I do not like this. So one of the things that I want to work on is like my energy. Like some people vibe out with my energy. I mean, they vibe out with my energy once they know me, but I'm trying to like channel my inner feminine energy. Or maybe it should be masculine energy. I don't know. Sometimes when you want something, sometimes it's the opposite of what it means. But anyways, I'm just trying to channel my energy to make it lighter and more attractive to just everyday people. You know, because not everybody has the patience to get to know you. And I want that magnetic pull that I see. You normally see that with people that are like heavy set. They normally have like high confidence. Um, Also too, like the energy that like I want to channel, let me just see if I could point out some people, like some celebrities that people know. Like Obama's energy is very like magnetic. uh let's see, so I always say Rihanna energy is very magnetic. um yes, Midnight, you want to introduce yourself? Do you want to say hi? Yes, you want to stir the show? Oh, do you want to say hi? Let's say hi. The special guest you guys didn't think would show up, the son, Mr. Midnight. I'm actually in the process getting him a sibling because I feel bad. He's the only little child. So we might get you another kitty. So he could be a big brother or a daddy figure. Anyway, so this is Mr. Midnight. He normally tries to lick my nose, but since I have this nose strip on here, he's not doing that. Isn't he so handsome? My baby's so handsome. He's a handsome man. Yes. Okay, bye-bye. Um, who else has magnetic energy people talk about? They talk about Tiana Taylor. They honestly say Kim Kardashian has good energy too. Like she's very polite in person. Who else? These are just some names or whatever. No, I'm not trying to be them. I just want to have that energy around me. So, um, yeah. Oh, and I talked to you guys too about me working out. So here's an update. Here is an update. I am working out. I'm working out at least. So I have this thing where I'm not going to say to myself, I want to get to a specific goal. We are just working out for the betterment of ourselves. And I'm working out at least every other day, um, 30 minutes to an hour. And so far, I've been working out maybe, um, maybe 5 or 6 days a week. And yeah, we're just gonna go from there. Um, so that's what's been working for me. I find it when I say, "Oh, I wanna work out and lose a certain amount of weight." Like when I fixate on that, I don't get there. I end up stopping. So with this no pressure method, we're just gonna monitor it. Today I feel like I am going to um just do some house stuff. I stayed in the house yesterday. I don't know if I'm depressed or what's going on, but I don't be wanting to go out of my house. And I love being in my house, but it's also not healthy because I work from home too. So I'm like, if I want to make more friends, and find a partner, I need to go out because baby, them dating apps ain't nothing. I be getting irritated with the dating apps. People just be on there just texting. They be trying to sleep with one another. Like it's just instant, like temporary intimacy, and I'm just not in that stage. Like I'm just like, this is crazy. When I was younger, I was in like long-term relationships, and I appreciate every person, whether it was chaotic or it was healthy, or I take all my relationships as a learning lesson now at this age. But I'm like, damn. And during those times, I didn't really have nothing. I was like really like growing to be who the person I am now. And thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. And during that time, I was either like going to school, I was working multiple jobs. Um, I don't know, like I was really trying to find myself in a sense. I was like in the it crowd, and I don't know, it's just, yeah, I was doing a lot. Doing a lot. I was a lot. Um, and I'm like, dang, now when I get to a place, it's like I'm settled. And what I mean by that, because earlier I said I wasn't settled. I'm not 100% settled in my place here because I still need to unpack a whole bedroom that I haven't unpacked yet. Um, it's like not a priority to me. My main thing is I want to like decorate my apartment, and I've been decorating it. But it's slowly. It's gonna, the way I envision it, it's gonna take a lot of time, a lot of money on how I want to do it. So I just been saving stuff on websites and things like that, and just buying things in bulk batches because I also have a budget of when I'm doing stuff like that. But anyways, going back to the topic though, it's like, dang, now I have a career. Um, yeah, I have a career. I am the healthiest mentally I've ever been. We're getting the physical together because I will be honest, when I was younger, I was way healthier. Um, and what I mean by healthier is like I didn't have like health elements going on. I was in shape. I took fitness very seriously. I was an athlete. So I don't know. That's the part of me when I was younger. I wish like my mindset I had then, like if this version of myself could talk to the version when I was younger, my younger version will be like, "There's no way you let yourself get like that. There's no way." Like so, I'm trying to program my mind and my brain. Hi, Midnight. Sorry, he's staring at me. He wants a little bit of attention. Um, there's no way I could let myself get like that. But anyways, yes, I would say I was healthier when I was younger, and most people are when they're younger. Your metabolism works different. You're not exposed to a whole bunch of chemicals. So anyways, we are on the journey of getting back healthy. We have medical appointments going on. We are slowly transitioning to a cleaner lifestyle when it comes to food. I'm really getting into like natural. Well, I've always kind of been in that, but now it's like really, we're really getting into it. Is like natural herbal teas, and I did buy a juicer when I was in Oregon. I haven't used it since I've been here because I need to look up recipes that I would like. So if you guys have any suggestions on recipes that you would like, I mean, that are good for you, that kind of taste good, because I know healthy stuff doesn't always taste good too. Um, yeah, we need to get these back rolls off, because what the fuck? These gotta get off. This stomach gotta go. The stomach is going down, so I'm not mad at it. Since I've been working out, it's going down, and I'm just gonna let it do its thing. I ain't gonna criticize myself. Um, what else? What else can I talk to you guys while this nose thing dries up? Um, what about that? I guess we could go back to the love thing. I've been reflecting lately too. Oh, this is like this and then this. I just wanted this to brush the eyelash because I think I have one, but I don't know where the hell I did with it. The little, oh, here it is. I need to have this, I need to clean this one though because it's dirty. I'm not using that on my eyelash. Um, I just really need this eyelash part, even though I don't think this is for your eyelash. I think it's more for your brow, but hey, it's the same thing though. Just gonna brush these out. I can do my eyelashes with this drawing. However, I don't want to do that. I don't know why. Um You know what? I'm thinking I might go to the movies today because I got a movie pass. I need to get my money's worth. I love the movies. I would love to find someone where we could just have movie dates. That used to be me and my ex best friend. Like, that's a whole story. Like, I'm so disappointed in how we are ending up. Yeah, that was that was very painful. My friendship of 17 or 18 years. We're just cordial now. We're not close anymore. I don't know what's going on with that. I love her to death. I'm not gonna chase her because there's been a time in our friendship where we kind of fell out or had like a difficult spot in our life, and I fought hard for our relationship, and we were good for a very long time until like our last little weird spat. And I'm just in a space in my life. I'm not about to chase a motherfucking person. Excuse my language. I'm just not gonna do it. You're either gonna be in my life or not. And I've lost so many people. Like, I'm literally a loner. Part of it was because I had to change my environment. The environments I was in, like, it was just not it. Because again, I was trying to find myself, figure myself out. And you can't grow if you stay in the same environment, you know? Especially if it's like toxic. Or you know, you could have, I encourage everyone to have different types of friends. But you can't have like the party friends your main source. You're not gonna grow. Like, you're not growing if you're the one that's doing the most, you know? You could maybe encourage some of those people to like do better. But you can't, most of them are not. They're gonna stay right where they're at. And I love everyone I've ever encountered in my life. I absolutely adore them, but there's also a reason why you're not in my life anymore. And then also too, I'm not gonna sit here and say there are some friendships I fucked up. You know, I didn't value them. So I recognize that. That's a part of growth. But now I'm at a point in my life, I want community. And I need to get another, thank you for the thumbs up. I need to get another disinfectant thing because these are done. But walking through my house. Y'all like my wall? I've been adding more to the infamous wall, black and white wall. I kind of said I wanted to keep it to only African American women. However, though, that kind of went out the window. The majority of the people on the wall are African American. But then I decided, I was like, I just want powerful women on my wall that I admire. Like, the whole purpose of this wall was to honor African American women and to remind myself that being an African American woman, you are beautiful. You are just as beautiful as any other race on this planet. And to have like a powerful reminder of that, because I remember growing up being a 90s kid. I mean, there was a lot of beautiful Black representation on TV. However, though, I feel sad for the younger generations now because they don't really have that much. It's all negative stuff. And each of these women on here have their own personal stories, their own barriers, broke through things, some alive, some not alive anymore. And they have paved a way for the culture and for themselves. And I just think surrounding yourself around who you are, what you are, is important. Representation matters. So that's why that wall started. But then it kind of morphed into, because it's really hard to find black and white photos, by the way. It kind of morphed into just the woman that I adore type of thing. Let's see. So Sorry. One thing about Mr. Midnight, he gonna always be close by me. Oh, we got one right there. Get out of there. Get out. He's really gonna act up since I'm on this camera. Get out of here. Get out. This cat. Do I have one underneath here? No. Huh. Oh, I do. Why do I have one underneath the thing, too? Okay, this needs to go in the closet then. We're going to use the Clorox ones. Got those. And I also have some that I need to unpack in another space. But, yeah, y'all could kind of... Well, I'm not going to show my living room. Like... I'm trying to also be respectful of my space, too, and not show so much of my house anymore like I did when I was living in Oregon, because y'all don't need to be doing that. People are weird on the internet. So I'm actually going to wet these a little bit because what the hell? I need to get it together. Clorox, because them Walmart ones was busting these. They kind of dry. They may have been open too, in a sense. Yeah, so I'm in a space like I want to build community. So, I also need to break out of my social anxiety that I have, and start going places, going places where I like. So I could be around like-minded people. This isn't gonna work. I'm gonna have to get some cleanser spray. So come with me again. I wish I could show y'all my house, but it's low-key not organized right now. But let's see. I think this is gonna call for a rag. Because I found, isn't this exciting? I found a drawer in my bathroom that I didn't know it had. And it's a big drawer too. So I'm like, ooh, I can unpack some of my stuff. Because I will say this apartment has more cabinets in here, but I don't know why I feel like I was able to fit more in my other apartment. And I know this apartment is bigger than my Oregon apartment. Anyway, so I found this drawer. Isn't this cool? Hold on. This drawer, I found it. And, cause see, when you look at this, I didn't think that was a drawer. I just thought that was the design. And then I was sitting on the toilet one day. TMI. I was sitting on the toilet one day and I was like, there's an edge on the side like the drawers. There's a whole drawer underneath here. So I was like, oh, because I was wondering, I was like, how am I going to get all of my stuff that I normally have in the bathroom in this bathroom, because I do have a shelf right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. I do have shelves there. But in these, the thing that I will say, I have more drawers here. But that's the front line. But because they are not deep, I feel like it's smaller. But this one that I found is a deep drawer. So I could put so much stuff in here. So I am excited for this, finding this. Because, whoa, this just helps me. Because I was like, oh, I should get rid of some of the stuff, which I do agree I should get rid of some of the stuff. But stuff that I don't want to get rid of. I don't need to. When I was in Oregon, I got rid of a lot of stuff. And I could have bought some stuff with me. And I didn't. Because I just felt like, one, I didn't want to bring that energy with me. I'm not saying it was bad energy, but sometimes you just, it's a time and place, you know? Whew. But and you grow, you grow. So it's kind of where I'm at with it. I pay this lady, I have a maid that, well, a cleaner, I don't want to call her a maid. Is that even a proper way to call cleaners? You hire professional cleaners. I would assume if you clean someone's bathroom, why didn't he wipe down my counters? That's a part of the bathroom. Because why am I cleaning it? Anyways. Yeah. All right. I shouldn't find anything dirty. You know what I'm saying? If I'm paying you for that. But hey. And I'm also, so I'm kind of entering this stage of my life. If I could afford it, I'm going to have someone do it. Like, there's certain things I don't want to do. Especially, I'm single, I don't have any kids. Why not? Shit. I'm in a stage in my life where I am very open to kids. Very, very open to kids. I don't know. I just honestly be feeling lonely. Like, dang, I had to get rid of friendships, or, that was a bit much. Now I'm in an amazing space in my life, and I just feel so alone. But I'm not desperate. That's the kicker. Don't be desperate. Oh, this is still wet. And I don't have my personal fan with me. It can't escalate. So maybe I will do... The only thing is, I be liking to get the foam, like, underneath here. Anyways, I might have to not do that. I'm gonna try to find something good to listen to on YouTube. I keep running away from...
I don't know who needs to hear this, but sometimes there is beauty in letting people believe that you are truly unaware of who they are. My mama used to say, just wait. People will tell you who they are sooner than they think that you know. And she was right. Because see, baby, if you sit still long enough, the truth starts clearing this throat, that mask on them.
YouTube is freezing. Oh, don't fail me now, please. I don't want to have to get my laptop. That was so big and unnecessary. So is YouTube going to force me to do this fucking update? What's my phone in general freezing? What the fuck? is going? I'm just gonna update this. So it may be because this phone has so much on it. What a bummer. It's freezing. We're gonna turn it off and then turn it on again. It won't even let me look at this. It won't even let me slide it off. Isn't this crazy? Hey, how are you? Good morning. Um, yeah, I ain't getting rid of this phone because if someone ever try me, I got receipts for days because I don't trust a certain person. If it ever gets to a point where I gain any notoriety because that person is definitely fame driven, I know they are gonna try me. So, um, yeah, you always have to keep your receipts, you know? Um, these are cute photos. Let's listen to Jay Shetty.
When things are good, we think they'll be good forever. And we're wrong. When things are bad, we think they'll be bad forever. And we're wrong. Things are never good forever, and they're never bad forever. What we need to recognize is how we can focus on living a life of meaning and purpose and seeking peace, even in chaos. The number one health and wellness podcast. Jay Shetty. Jay Shetty. He was the only Jay Shetty. Hey everyone, it's Jay Shetty, host of the On Purpose podcast and author of New York Times bestselling book, Think Like a Monk and A Rules of Love. If you haven't read either of those books, I hope you go and grab a copy to learn about mindset, peace, purpose, and love, relationships, and all that. But today I'm talking to you about 8 things I wish I knew before I was 30. I'm 37 now, and I've learned so much.
Oh, he's 2 years older than me.
But there are certain things that I know could have saved me time, money, and energy before I was 30 years old, and I want to share them all with you. If I could sit my 20-year-old self down for an unfiltered conversation, here are the truths about people, work, and life that would have saved me years of stress, overthinking, and wasted energy. These aren't cliches, they're counterintuitive lessons from psychology and human behavior that will change how you live, love, and work. Let's get in. Lesson number 1 is people aren't thinking about you as much as you think they are. I want to talk about something known as the spotlight effect from Gilovich in 1999. He said that we overestimate how much people notice or judge us, when the truth is most people are too busy worrying about themselves. Now, imagine walking to work with a giant coffee stain down the front of your shirt. You feel exposed, humiliated. You swear everyone's staring, whispering, judging, gossiping. You spend the whole day shrinking into yourself. But here's the twist. When psychologists at Cornell University actually tested this, they found almost nobody noticed. In their famous Barry Manilow t-shirt study, students were asked to walk into a room full of peers wearing a bright, embarrassing Manilow shirt. The wearers were convinced half the room would notice and remember. But the reality, only about 20% of people noticed at all. The truth is, we all live under what psychologists call the spotlight effect. The belief that everyone is watching us, when in reality, most people are too busy worrying about their own coffee stains, their own insecurities, their own spotlight. Now, here's why this matters. You're not being judged as much as you think. The audience you imagine doesn't exist. The world isn't scrutinizing you, it's scrolling past, lost in its own self-consciousness. The spotlight is in your head. And once you realize that, you can finally step on stage, take the risk, wear the stain, because no one's watching as closely as you think. Stop chasing approval from people who don't even know themselves. Stop performing for people who wouldn't show up if you fell. Stop editing your life for people who aren't even paying attention.
Glue that I use.
Stop carrying the weight of opinions that were never yours to hold. Stop shrinking your dreams to fit someone else's comfort zone. And stop letting silent critics rent space in your head for free. Stop confusing someone's opinion with your own reflection. They're not thinking about you in the first place. Lesson number 2. Busyness isn't productivity. We mistake being busy for being valuable. This is something in psychology known as the effort heuristic. We all know what it feels like. We think if we're working 12 hours a day, we're winning, we're moving forward. The reality is, you can hustle 12 hours a day and still not move forward. We have to measure progress in outcomes, not hours. Have you ever caught yourself bragging about how busy you are? Or maybe even trying to make yourself sound worthy? You might say, I worked 12 hours straight. Hey, I had back-to-back meetings. I barely slept this week.
That is nothing to be proud of.
Like a badge of honor. But psychology has a name for this mistake, the effort heuristic. It means we assume that if something took more effort, it must be more valuable.
Why is it taking so long?
But that doesn't always fit.
Jesus.
Researchers asked people to rate 2 paintings of the same artwork. One was described to them as taking 4 hours to make. The other was described as taking 26 hours. Guess what? People rated the 26-hour painting as more beautiful, more meaningful, more worthy of praise. Same art, same quality, but different story about the effort. We all think if we're working longer, we should be rewarded more. If we're working harder, we should win more. If we're doing more, we should get more. But here's the problem. Just because something takes longer doesn't mean it's better. A 12-hour workday isn't proof of impact. A never-ending to-do list isn't proof of progress. Exhaustion isn't proof of success. Busy is not the same as effective. So here's the takeaway. Don't measure your value by the hours you burn. Measure it by the results you create. Don't ask, how hard did I work? Ask, did my work actually matter? Because at the end of your life, no one's going to hand you an award for most hours spent looking busy. But you will remember what you built, what you changed, and who you became. Start remembering, you're not valuable because you're busy. You're valuable because you're you. Stop measuring your day by hours instead of outcomes. Stop filling every minute so you don't feel like you're falling behind. Stop mistaking exhaustion for evidence that you matter. So many of us are so conflicted by that. It's time to work smart. It's time to work effective, not just hard. Lesson number 3. Your friends will change, and that's not betrayal. There's a psychological term known as socio-emotional selectivity theory. As we age, we prioritize depth over breadth in our relationships. Losing friends, as hard as it is,
is often growth, not failure. Look, this is
Wasn't I just talking to you
when
guys
you're in your
about
20s,
this?
your inbox is insane. You've got group chats, classmates, colleagues, Friday night plans with people
God
you barely know.
put
Your
this.
social world feels infinite.
Yeah.
But something fascinating happens as you get older. Psychologists have studied this for decades, and the data is crystal clear. Your social circle shrinks. Not because you're
I
failing,
barely have one.
but because your brain is recalibrating. This is called socio-emotional selectivity theory, a concept pioneered by a psychologist at Stanford. She found that as people age, or even just perceive their time as more limited, they stop investing in endless social expansion. Instead, they prioritize fewer, deeper, more emotionally meaningful relationships. In one study, they tracked people's relationships across their lifespans. Young adults reported wide networks with lots of acquaintances. Older adults consistently reported smaller networks, but also higher satisfaction in those relationships. What was even more striking was that the older adults had fewer conflicts and reported greater emotional stability. It isn't age that changes us. It's how much time we believe we have left. When time feels expansive, we chase novelty and variety. When time feels expensive, we choose intimacy and depth. That's why your 20s feel like you're collecting people, and your 30s, 40s, and 50s feel like you're filtering down to the ones who really matter. I think a lot of us, when we're losing friends, when we grow apart, when we drift apart as we get older, we may start to judge people. We may think people change. We may think that we did something wrong. The reality is people have less time. They want to focus more on the relationships that matter. And this becomes a natural evolution in life. If you're feeling guilty that your social circle is shrinking, don't. It's not failure. It's what moving forward looks like. It means your brain is getting wise enough to realize a small circle that feeds you is more valuable than a large circle that drains you. A small circle that tells you the truth is better than a large circle that tells you what you want to hear. A small circle that celebrates you in private is better than a large circle that claps only in public. A small circle that challenges you to grow is better than a large circle that keeps you the same. You can have less friends that bring you more joy. Don't get it confused. Lesson number 4 is discipline is easier than motivation. Most of us think that what we need to change our lives is more motivation. The amount of people that come up to me and say, Jay, motivate me. Can you tell me something motivational that will change my life? We all feel if I can just feel more motivated, I'd go to the gym, start the business, eat better. But here's the counterintuitive truth. You don't need more motivation. You need more discipline. And discipline doesn't mean willpower or toughness. It means designing your life so the right choice is easier than the wrong one. Let me say that again. Discipline is designing your life so that the right choice is easier than the wrong one. Your systems are helping you make hard choices more easily. Psychologists call this ego depletion. Every decision you make, from what to wear to what to eat, drains your brain's self-control battery. By the time the evening comes, that battery is dead. How many of you have felt this before, right? You've been making decisions all day. What to wear, what to eat, meal prepping, what to cook, what to make for lunch, what to make for dinner. Then you've got, what color does this slide deck need to be? I haven't made the accounts balance up. I haven't replied to my mom. I haven't called my friend. I haven't texted this person back. I've got to update my dating profile. It's exhausting. And that's why motivation isn't reliable. Motivation fades with your mood. Discipline survives with your systems. It's why President Obama only wore 2 suit colors as president. Why Steve Jobs wore the same black turtleneck. They weren't lazy. They were protecting their discipline. They cut small decisions so they had energy for the big ones. This is known as something called decision fatigue. So many of us get tired of making so many small decisions all day that we don't have energy for the big ones. Keep your energy for the big decisions in life. People spend more time planning their wedding than they do making sure the person they're marrying is the right person. People spend more time getting their degree than making sure the job they choose is worthy of their qualification. We waste so much more time in getting something than we do for preparing for something. Stop waiting to feel motivated. Start setting systems that make discipline feel natural. Lay out your clothes the night before. Put healthy food where you can see it and take away all the bad stuff. Block websites that waste your focus. Because success doesn't come from chasing motivation. It comes from designing a life where discipline is the default. Make yourself known through the symbols you carry with the new Pandora Talisman collection. Inspired by ancient coins, each design transforms timeless symbols into modern statements. Inscribed with powerful Latin mantras, Pandora Talisman represents strength, love, and resilience. Wear one as your personal statement or layer them on Pandora necklaces and bracelets to tell your story. Pandora Talisman, words to live by. Now available in-store and online at pandora.net. Lesson number 5 is that most of your fears are memories, not threats. The fear you feel today usually belongs to yesterday. When you feel fear, your brain tells you it's about this moment. But most of the time, it isn't. Think about a child who is laughed at for reading out loud in class. Maybe you went through something like this as well. Years later, as an adult, they're asked to present at work. Suddenly, their heart races, their palms sweat, their throat tightens. They think, I'm scared of public speaking. But the truth? They're not scared of this meeting or presentation. They're scared of that classroom. This happens because of emotional memory encoding. When we experience something painful, maybe it's embarrassment, rejection, failure, the brain doesn't just store the fact, it stores the feeling. The amygdala, the brain's fear center, tags that memory as danger. And the next time anything even resembles that situation, your body reacts as if the past is happening again. Maybe you had a really uncomfortable experience in water when you were young. Now, every time you get into water, whether it's the ocean or a swimming pool, you feel tight-chested. That's why the fear you feel today often belongs to yesterday. They're not about real immediate threats, but about old memories being triggered. In fact, research on the amygdala found that fear responses are often 2 to 3 times stronger when tied to past emotional memories than faced with new situations. So the fear in your chest isn't always truth. It's often a memory replay. You're not afraid of the presentation. You're afraid of the old humiliation. You're not afraid of love. You're afraid of the heartbreak that came before. Here's the takeaway. The next time fear shows up, ask yourself, is this fear about now, or am I carrying it from then? Because once you see that most of your fears are echoes, you can stop letting yesterday control today. Stop letting people who hurt you years ago hurt you again today. Stop letting old wounds cause more pain than the moment itself ever did. Stop letting memories control moments that deserve a fresh start. Stop letting yesterday's rejection steal today's confidence. Stop letting a single chapter convince you the whole story is broken. Stop letting the past keep winning when the fight is already over. What I want you to think about with that is that whenever you come up against something, frame it back. Recognize where it comes from. We have to cut it at the root. You're not going to solve your life by only getting over the symptom right now. It's by cutting it at the root. Figuring out where it started, figuring out where it came from, almost tracking it back helps you cut it right there and then. And it can transform your life. Because so many of us are not taking risks today because of pain we felt in the past. So many of us are not taking on challenges today because of hardships we had in the past. So many of us are not trying things today because of failures in the past. You don't want to let your past have such a tight hold of control over your present and your future. You could miss out on an amazing partner, an amazing career, an amazing life because of a choice or a mistake or something that happened in your past.
Wow.
It's not worth it. Lesson number 6. You're more likely to change by belonging than by willpower. Because identity is contagious. This will actually blow your mind. It transformed how I think about human change. I've realized that there are 3 core aspects to human change. Coaching, knowing something that is 3 or 5 years ahead of you, knowing someone who's 3 or 5 years ahead of you on the journey you're about to go through, and having their guidance can transform your life. The second is consistency and commitment. When you can actually commit to action, commit to making a change, and you do it over a certain amount of time. And the third, which is what this one's all about, is community. We need community for accountability, we need it for competition, and we need it for collaboration. See, most people think change is about willpower. If I just tried harder, if I just pushed more, if I just force myself, I'll change. But here's the counterintuitive truth. You're more likely to change by belonging than by willpower, because identity is contagious. A few years ago, researchers studied why some people quit smoking successfully and others relapsed. They found something surprising. It wasn't the strongest-willed individuals who succeeded.
Shit.
It was the ones who changed their social circles. If you were surrounded by smokers, your chance of quitting dropped dramatically. But if your spouse quit smoking, your likelihood of quitting jumped up. If a close friend quit, your odds went up. Same habit, same nicotine, different environment. Why? Because we adapt to the norms of our group. A Harvard study on social networks showed that obesity, smoking, and even happiness spread through friends groups like contagions. If a friend of yours becomes obese, your own risk increases by 57%. If a friend becomes happy, your own chance of happiness rises by 25%. Willpower didn't spread. Identity and connectivity did.
Wow.
So if you want to change your life, stop asking, how do I get more willpower? Start asking, who do I need to belong to? You'll fight to match the energy of the people you sit with. You'll pick up their habits without even realizing it. Here's the takeaway. Willpower is fragile. Belonging is powerful. The fastest way to change your habits is to change your people. Because you don't just become what you practice, you become who you're around. Stop spending time with people you don't want to be like. Stop wasting energy on people you don't admire. Stop building connections with people who only drain your confidence. Stop investing in circles that make you smaller instead of braver. I think this is a huge one, because if you look at a change you want to make in your life and you're thinking, why didn't I change it at New Year's? Why didn't I change it on my birthday? I promise you it's because you didn't change your circle. No, you're thinking, I've got some really good friends. I don't want to leave them. They're amazing. You don't have to leave them. You have to build new circles around new goals.
I was saying
When you
that.
have a goal, build a circle around it. It doesn't mean you leave your friends or your family behind. It doesn't mean you cut people out. You can still love them. You can still keep them in your life. But you have to create new circles around new goals. It is so much less likely for you to achieve the goals you have with the circle you currently have. And I know you're thinking, Jay, where do I find those people? I don't know people like that in my community. I didn't grow up in that area. Find them online. Find them in books. Find them on podcasts. You can associate with people by giving your attention to them. It's not the people around you physically that define who you're becoming. It's the people you choose to give your attention to. Who are you listening to? Who are you following? Who are you allowing in? What are you consuming? That will transform where you're going. Having the right people in your corner to support you is a great form of self-care. Just like the friend who shows up to your housewarming party when you get that dream home, celebrates your big promotion, or goes with you on a walk to clear your mind, State Farm is there to help you feel supported. They have different coverage options, whether it be for your home, car, motorcycle, boat, or even RV. With a State Farm agent, you know someone is there to help protect.
So we're gonna
what's
use
important.
this.
And with so many coverage options, it's nice knowing you have help
It has a
finding what fits
consistency
for
like
you,
this.
so you can continue to celebrate
It's gonna
all
take
of
a
life's
little.
biggest milestones. Go online at statefarm.com or use the award-winning
Ooh,
app
my
to
face
get
isn't
help
wet
from
enough.
one of their local agents. Like a good neighbor,
There we
State
go.
Farm is there. Lesson number 7. You don't burn out from working too hard. You burn out from meaninglessness. Long hours don't always cause burnout. Empty hours do. Most people think burnout comes from working too many hours. They'll say, I'm exhausted because I'm working 70 hours a week. But here's what the research shows. It's not the hours that burn us out, it's the emptiness. I once coached a woman who is a high performer at a huge firm. She worked 60, sometimes 70 hours a week. But outside of work, she was full of energy. She ran marathons, she volunteered at a shelter, she traveled. Then she switched companies. Her hours stayed the same, maybe even a little lighter. She was making a bit more money. But within 6 months, she was burned out, drained, and ready to quit. Why? Not because of workload, but because the work no longer meant anything to her. The tasks were repetitive. The recognition was absent. She felt like a cog in a machine. Same hours, less meaning, more burnout. This lines up with Christina Maslach's research on burnout, the world's leading scholar in this field. She identified 3 dimensions of burnout. Number 1, exhaustion, feeling drained or used up. Number 2, cynicism, feeling detached, negative, resentful. Number 3, inefficacy, feeling like your work doesn't matter or make a difference. What drives burnout most consistently isn't just long hours. It's when your
So
work
it's in a different
feels
language.
meaningless, misaligned.
So I just kind of use it how I use my other ones. I
Gallup
just kind of
found
let
that
it soak in my skin a little
76% of
bit.
employees experience burnout. But the strongest predictor wasn't the number of hours, it was whether they felt their work had purpose. Maslach's research shows that people who feel their work lacks recognition or significance report 2 to 3 times higher levels of burnout, even at similar workloads. In contrast, people engaged in meaningful but demanding work, nurses, social workers, startup founders, often sustain far higher workloads before burning out because purpose acts like fuel. So the truth is, you don't burn out from giving too much of yourself. You burn out from giving yourself to things that don't matter. If you feel drained, don't just ask, how many hours am I working? Ask, what am I working toward? Cutting hours might help temporarily, but finding meaning changes everything. Because exhaustion is survival. Meaninglessness.
God wanted me to hear this message because I'm going through this right now with
Into your work. You can
the family
create
business.
energy
I'm like,
into
I am
your
so
work.
over it, so done.
Find something that you can be curious about. Find something to bring passion into the workplace. You don't have to have the perfect job. You have to bring passion into the workplace. Lesson number 8. Your brain lies about the future. We think we're good will make us happy. I'll be so much happier once I get that promotion. Once I move to that city, everything will be better. Once I'm in that relationship, I'll finally be complete. But psychology says we're terrible at this. Daniel Gilbert, a Harvard psychologist, ran a study with people who were absolutely convinced that winning the lottery would transform their happiness. When they checked in with lottery winners a year later, their happiness had barely changed. In fact, many felt less fulfilled. Why? Because their relationships, routines, and sense of purpose hadn't shifted, just their bank balance. And here's the twist. When Gilbert looked at people who had suffered catastrophic accidents and lost mobility a year later, many of them reported similar happiness levels as before the accident. What felt like the end of life became the start of adaptation. This is called effective forecasting error. Our brain systematically overestimates how long good or bad events will impact our happiness. We imagine the promotion as a permanent high, when in reality, we adapt quickly. We imagine the breakup as endless despair, but over time, our emotional baseline returns faster than we think. Gilbert calls this our psychological immune system. We recover emotionally far more quickly than our imagination predicts. It's fascinating, isn't it? When things are good, we think they'll be good forever. And we're wrong. When things are bad, we think they'll be bad forever. And we're wrong. Things are never good forever, and they're never bad forever. What we need to recognize is how we can focus on living a life of meaning and purpose and seeking peace, even in chaos. In one study, college students predicted they'd be miserable for months if they were rejected from a dorm lottery. A few weeks later, their happiness levels were back to baseline. A large body of research shows we consistently mispredict both the intensity and the duration of our emotional reactions. So here's the truth. Your imagination about the future is usually wrong. It exaggerates both the joy and the pain. That's why the best advice isn't trust your gut. It's test reality. If you learn to test reality, to experiment, to try, you will know more than what you may think or predict. Before making a big life decision, like moving cities, quitting jobs, ending relationships, don't trust the move in your head. Run a small experiment. Spend a week in that new city. Shadow someone in that career. Try a day living that lifestyle. Because imagination inflates. Reality educates. You think happiness will never end, and you think pain will never end. The truth is, pleasure ends quicker than you think, and pain ends quicker than you think. I really hope that these 8 lessons will help you get the next decade of your life to be the most powerful one yet. It's these lessons that shift your mindset, change your careers, and change your life. It's not waiting for something magical external. It's about changing that internal dialogue. Make sure you subscribe. Remember, I'm forever in your corner, and I'm always rooting for you. If you love this episode, you will also love my interview with Charles Duhigg on how to hack your brain, change any habit effortlessly, and the secret to making better decisions.
Look, am I hesitating on this because I'm scared of making the choice, because I'm scared of doing the work? Or am I sitting with this because it just doesn't feel right yet?
It was a really good motivational video. I really needed to hear that, like, for sure. Super proud that came on my feed. Shout out to the Jay Shetty podcast, for real. I want to listen to Hines. Hines is another YouTuber that is positive, and I just love his little vibe. And he's one of the top YouTubers too. Like, he gets recognized a lot for his peacefulness and I'm gonna read some of these out loud. The negative cycle you're in ends today. I overcame the negative thoughts in my mindset. The art of not feeling lonely. I listened to this, or it was one of those things it was just playing on. Let's listen to this because
today we're going to be talking about how to be alone.
Isn't he so amazing?
Lonely. And I know some of us struggle with this, so we are going to make sure we calm those nerves, fill ourselves up, and become our own best friends again. Oh, by the way, this video is sponsored by BetterHelp. We'll link to that later. Let's have some tea, shall we?
He always has tea. He loves tea. I love tea too.
Wow, I'm almost out of this tea because it is so good. It's a green tea, and I just got a new scoop as well. I know some of y'all see my other scoop, but that one was too big, and then I found this one. I was like, so good. We never stop getting the tea accessories. It's mandatory that we always level up our tea supplies. Like, I need to get a couple more new tea sets very soon. Oh yeah, that smells good. I don't know if y'all can see that, but let's see. As you can see here, the little buds. Now this is a tea that you want to steep for about 3 minutes. Okay, now that is smelling divine. This is for you. This is for you. Let me know how that is. I have one waiting for me in the living room. And we're going to get into the art of being alone. Sure. That's a divine cup of tea. Let me know how that cup of tea is for you. Today I wanted to shift our perspective a little bit on the difference between being alone and feeling lonely. And I know this is something a lot of us struggle with. Now, we all operate differently, don't we? Some of us are introverts. We like to be alone. We bring more energy in our alone time. You understand? And some of us are extroverts. We thrive off of our social interaction. We get nourished when we see people when we're out in public. And
So this is how it looks once you start putting water on it.
which one you resonate with, we all love to have connections, you understand? But it's also very important that we know how to be alone and cultivate good energy and get to know ourselves.
It's very gentle on your skin. It's very light. I do notice, maybe I'm doing it wrong, but it will become a little flaky. It could be how I put it on my face though.
Now, I don't know about you, but I have been in a
And what I mean by a little flaky, I mean,
that felt completely
you can hardly notice. Like,
some
I
of us have
pay
been in
attention to
relationships
details.
before where that person made us feel as if we were alone in that relationship. So to me, physical presence doesn't equal being alone. Physical presence doesn't have to do with being alone. It has to do with how we
Let's try to have like an exfoliator.
Because we could be at dinner, a romantic dinner, let's say Italian food. You know, we all love pasta. I bet some of you may like
And I
pasta.
like to put
And
the wash on my eyebrow too because
but they're swiping
it's hair
on
too.
their phone, not giving you any presence or
And
energy.
it's like you're washing them.
Alone in that moment because they do not feel you and you cannot feel them. I always say it's better to be felt and not seen. And to me, when we are alone, that is
And then after that,
feel ourselves
get my little
on a
face
deeper
off.
level. You understand? So when I am
And I
alone,
get
I am
any
not alone.
abscess.
I may be physically alone,
Cleanser off.
but I am in good company by having a nourished environment, right? Like our environments give us energy by enjoying what we are doing and by knowing that we are always guided. I always remind myself, I am guided, I am protected, and there are opportunities and connections all around us. Now we have to become better at being our own best friend. And I'm going to share with you some of my tips and things
Look,
I
barely
do
have any
and and being alone.
It really gets all the dirt and oil off. It does feel dry when you, not too dry, but you could tell you definitely cleansed your face.
It's a time to cultivate good energy, right? Like when I'm on home, I'll dance by myself. When I'm cooking, I'm dancing, I'm listening to podcasts, I'm in the shower, I'm singing. I know some of you sing in the shower. Don't be lying. I know you be singing in the shower. When we are at home by ourselves, when we are alone, physical presence doesn't equal.
Try to get it a little dry.
Our perspective. Because when we are alone, we can dive deeper into ourselves, create a stronger relationship with ourselves, become better friends with ourselves. Because I always say we have a relationship with ourselves, don't we? Like, don't you doubt yourself sometimes? Don't you talk to yourself? Don't you literally go within your own mind, back and forth, wrestling within yourself? So we have a relationship with ourselves. So when we are spending,
now we're gonna go in with the toner.
Alone, that is, we are only spending time with ourselves, right? That is special time, dedicated time to create a better friendship within ourselves and maybe address.
And it is kind of thick.
Sometimes if we're around people all the time, or
you do need a sizable amount though, because it dries.
We ignore things that we are feeling within. Over time, these will rise up, and we will start to feel it in our aura, right? It'll bring us
like,
down.
I'm gonna need some more.
Why we feel so heavy, but it's simply because we haven't given ourselves the time.
Just focus on the bottom part.
Number one thing for me when I am alone is
oh, I fucked up. So normally when I do the cleanser, I do alcohol on my face. We're gonna see how this feels on my skin, because even though you do wash the cleanser off, there could be some residue. So what I'm gonna do is for the forehead, I am going to put the alcohol on. Or maybe I should just wash off the, I'm gonna wash off the toner. And when I mean my wash off, I'm just gonna put alcohol on the face. We're just gonna start over, because I messed up.
You need a small space of renewal, and when we are at home by ourselves feeling lonely, I think it is an opportunity of renewal. Because when we have a deeper relationship with ourselves, we have a deeper relationship with others. The way I was able to overcome my social anxiety was actually by understanding myself more. Often you hear people say, oh, if you want to overcome your social anxiety, go outside and talk to 100 people.
It opens up your pores, so you're able to absorb more of the toner.
That's not what I did. I went inside while I was by myself.
If this works for me, what doesn't work for you, find what works for you, you know?
That's just what I did. And I was deep within myself, and I remember just spending days by myself, 10 hours at a time, and I enjoyed my time. And I would apply my energy to my interests, video, podcasts, I would research things, listen to podcasts, read books, whatever it may be, go outside, go for runs, go into nature. It's important that we find activities that nourish us. We can apply our energy, our attention to these activities and have fun. Be engaged while we are with ourselves. So when we do meet other people, so when we do meet new friends, we are an added value and we don't suck the energy out of people. Because if our cup is always empty and we're seeking everyone else's energy to fill us up, they will feel that, right? We want to be an added value to our relationships, to our friendships. Of course, we're going to be there for one another. Sometimes we may be low and our connections will lift us up. Sometimes our friends will be low and we will lift them up. But if we are always coming from a place where we need other people so we feel good, we're not going to have sustainable relationships. So learning to be alone is necessary to cultivating great relationships, right? To cultivating great romantic relationships as well. Everybody likes to be with somebody that knows they want to be with them. You understand? Like they want to be with them. Not just like they need to, in a sense, because they are needy and they can't be done by themselves. No. People like independent, loving, confident individuals that want to be with them. Often we question, thinking as if something is wrong with us. But we're not seeing that all that energy that you have, maybe it's not supposed to go to someone, but something. You understand? When I'm alone, I'm like, yeah, I have energy.
Much
I
better.
would love to give, of course. But maybe it's not for someone right now, but for something. And I apply that to my art. I apply that to my self-love, right? Because spending time with ourselves is self-care. But shift the perspective. Physical presence doesn't equal alone. It may feel like that. But again, you could be in a room full of people, but feel lonely. You could be on a date with someone or be with a friend and feel lonely because they don't see you. They misunderstand you. And sometimes we are disconnected from ourselves. Sometimes we don't feel ourselves. We are disconnected from ourselves, and that is a frightening feeling. For me this week, I felt disconnected from myself. And I remember I put all my work down. I put it down. I was at my studio and I just put it down. I said, you know what? It was like 9 p.m. I'm like,
Now we're gonna go in with the
I'm going to
serum.
cook a good meal. Came home, realized I didn't even have any groceries. That's how disconnected I was that day. Went to the grocery store, my favorite grocery store, they're open until 10 p.m., all organic grocery store. Got some stuff, came back, cooked a good meal, lit some incense, listened to some music, and then I watched a good documentary. And I felt so fueled up after by just spending some quality, present time with myself. And I realized I was getting way ahead of myself. Sometimes we are on the hustle, right? Sometimes we are making too many plans with other people, forgetting about the most important plan, the most important individual is you. Is that inner child, is that inner being, is that beauty, it's that gift within you that needs to be cultivated. Because I always say every single one of us has a gift that's coded within our DNA. And where do we cultivate that gift? A lot of the time it's when we are by ourselves. That's why being by ourselves, being alone, being lonely is an opportunity. Because we're not going to be alone forever. And if you find yourself in a season when there's not that many people around you, maybe it's time to shift your energy into some interests, some activities, and discover new things about yourself. Because maybe you were put in that place because there's something new to discover that's going to change your life. I went into that space one time where I discovered a whole new form of expression for myself. And it happened in my loneliness. It happened when I was alone. But I didn't feel alone. Yes, I was physically alone. But
I'm
I
gonna
knew
go
I
in
was
with
guided. I
this.
knew I was protected. In my environment, the way I was engaging with myself, I felt as if I was in good company because I was in good company, my friends. And me, I talk to about 1 or 2 people on a weekly basis, like local friends. I have millions of friends online, like y'all are my friends. When I make these videos, I am physically alone, but I can feel you. And I think when you tune into my videos, if you are a recent subscriber who watches my videos, I think when you tune in, even though you're at home laying in your bed by yourself, you can feel me, you understand? That's the beautiful thing about when we create energy and we go and we share it and we become an added value. It's an opportunity. It's better to be felt, not seen. And when we are alone, that's what we are doing. We are feeling ourselves on a deeper level so we can have stronger connections with the world, you understand? And you don't know I said everything. Oh, yeah. It's a vibe check. Remember, you are never alone. You are always guided. You are always protected. You are in good company. And there are millions of people to reach out to if you need to talk to anybody. We have a comment section in here. You can comment in. We have support groups in this comment section. You can send me a DM. I try to get back to everybody. Sometimes I can't. I try my
It gives
best.
you this. Hold on, I need to go in the light. This
That there are millions of people
shiny, healthy glow.
I find myself in a season
That
of being alone.
is
Maybe it's an opportunity to discover
the glow
something
it gives
within
you.
myself. Understand?
But it's not it. I gotta do the final touch. The final touch. Which is this.
I'll see you next time, my friends.
It enhances that glow. It doesn't feel heavy on your skin. It actually feels very light. with all the products I use. And it will dry, but you will have a glow about you.
This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Yeah. Alright, cool. I swear I outdo myself every single time. Blue Rain tea.
So I am done with the face. Now I am going to do my little edges, child. I don't have, I'm gonna have to get a bandana or something. Because you gotta lay your edges down, child. Lay them down. So this is how I do my edges. I kind of like to scrape them, in a sense, with my fingers first. I love a little swoop with the, you don't want to pull edges out of your braids, but the hair that is out, now these I noticed I started doing them this way, and it looks so much better when I go that way rather than going in its natural direction. And I just do that. These could actually curve this way. It's natural way. And sometimes I put some edge control on the braid hair. You gotta be careful though, because it will clunk up your braids quicker than natural, because naturally your hair has oil. It's going to accumulate dirt and other things and things like that. So it's really up to you. It just gives it like a little kind of enhanced pick-me-up type of thing. You can also use gel, which I probably should have because I started. The Eco Gel actually looks a little bit better than this. So we're going to actually, I'm doing the bare minimum, guys, the bare minimum. I need to get something to tie my head so we could lock these in, but my hair normally, my edges don't last long, because that's just the type of hair I have. I don't know. I'm just assuming. Yeah. So this is a silk. I got these off of Amazon. It's for edges. And I'm going to put this. I just spray it. And I do put it on tight. Sometimes I have to check myself because I put it on too tight, and then it feels like I start to get a migraine. But the tighter the better, but do it safely. And I do tie it in the back, and then it's not long enough, or maybe I just don't do it evenly, but I do kind of do a little messed up bow, which it's a messed up bow. And I just let it sit for a while. Yeah, that's my skincare routine. That's a little update on my life. And okay, I gotta clean that. This I definitely need to clean. Yeah, guys, make sure you watch my YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Someone said, what toothpaste do I use? I use Sensodyne. And I also have a natural toothpaste too. It's called Revive. I haven't been using it in a minute though. I'm not even gonna lie. Kind of stopped maybe like a month and a half ago, but ow, this is the only thing that sucks. Like my nose ring, it does close like my piercing. Ow, you kind of have to open it up again. I don't know. Will piercers say it's like healed or it's not healed? Look how glowy it is. I live for that look. Okay. Now, if you really want to love on yourself, you could have during the process. This is a rose quartz. It's really good.
If it's something that you truly want, or it's something that you're truly trying to cultivate, and there's a limiting belief, it's a challenge now. This is a challenge to overcome. Look at it like Miss Selden. Prove it wrong. You understand?
I'm not gonna put it on my face because.
Let's get to the next question. That was a good one. I like that one. Okay, next question.
I really like my glow, what I got going on.
Content and especially your vibe. I am done with the person that I have become. I hate my habits.
I probably should do this every day, honestly. It feels so good.
I have tried,
Also, too, it kind of regulates, circulates blood flow.
but I am still unclear. My question is, how can one gain clarity about one's true purpose and intentions? Where does one get started? How did you get started? The beautiful thing about this question is you have already started. When you become sick,
All right, guys. Peace. Love you. Have a good day.